முகம் மறையுது.
That is released by our Honorable Minister Sri J.P. Nadda avargal and received by our Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu Sri R. N. Ravi avargal.
மேடையில் வீட்டிற்கும் மதிப்பிற்குரிய His Holiness தர்மபுரம் ஆதீனம் குரு மகாசன்னிதானம் அவர்களே, மதிப்பிற்குரிய His Holiness மதுரை ஆதீனம் குரு மகாசன்னிதானம் அவர்களே, மதிப்பிற்குரிய குன்றக்கோடி திருவண்ணாமலை ஆதீனம் குரு மகாசன்னிதானம் அவர்களே, இங்கே கூடியிருக்கும் தமிழ்நாட்டில் அனைத்து ஆதீனம் மதிப்பிற்குரிய குரு மகாசன்னிதானம் அவர்களே, மத்திய அமைச்சர் மத்திய அரசு அமைச்சர் திரு ஜெகத் பிரகாஷ் நட்டா அவர்களே, SRM Institute of Science and Technology வேந்தர் டாக்டர் T.R. பாரிவேந்தர் அவர்களே, இணை வேந்தர் டாக்டர் P. சத்யநாராயணன் அவர்களே, திரு நாயனார் நாகேந்திரன் அவர்களே, மலேசியாவில் வர்த்தனர் மதிப்பிற்குரிய டாக்டர் தன் ஸ்ரீ தாத்து ஆர் நடராஜா அவர்களே, சைவ சித்தாந்த் அறிஞர்களே, மதிப்பிற்குரிய அடைப்பாளர்களே, எளிய மாணவ செல்வங்களே, ஓம் நம சிவாய. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனை போற்றி, எந்நாடுடைய இறைவா போற்றி. At the very outset, I express my deepest gratitude to Guru Mahasannidhanam Dharmpuram Adinam and management of SRM Institute of Science and Technology for organizing this 3 days international conference on a very, very important subject, Saiva Siddhanta. Friends, we know that Shaiva Agmas and Vedas, they are our fundamental scriptures. It's these two who shape Bharatiya darshan, Bharatiya philosophy, Bharatiya civilization, Bharatiya culture, and in fact, the idea and identity of Bharat. These are Saiva Agmas are profoundly philosophical, highly intellectual. It needs the highest order of scholarship to understand and appreciate it. And it has illuminated the entire land of Bharat, right from Jammu and Kashmir. We can't forget the great Saivacharya Abhinav Gupta of Kashmir, down to our Tamil land, the holy Tamil land. But then, our great Tamil Saiva saints, our great Nayanars, they did two revolutionary things, two immensely revolutionary things. First, they taught, preached Shaiva Siddhanta in the mother tongue, Tamil language. Shaiva Admas were in Tamil, in Sanskrit, limited to scholars, limited to institutions. Our great Nayanas, divine people, divine souls, who had achieved Sivatva, they put it in Tamil language, easily accessible to the people, the common people. And another great contribution which they did for the whole Bharat, and in fact after that our great Nayanas put it in Tamil, Shaiva Siddhanta came up in other regional languages of Bharat as well, but they were the pioneers. And then another revolutionary transformation which they did, they gave us the way to mukti, the way to appreciate the soul, the sar, the essence of Shaiva Siddhanta through bhakti. You don't need a scholarship, you don't need deeper understanding and profound philosophy. All that you need is absolute surrender to the Supreme Self, Shiva, the Lord of the universe. Pati, Pasu, Pas. Patu, the Lord Shiva himself. Pashu, the individual self, and Pas, Mother Maya. The individual self, Pashu, was kept in the bondage of Pasha. The earlier, prior to devotion, introduction of devotion, these were achievement of mukti was through elaborate, complicated rituals. It was not easily accessible to the common people. But what our great Nayanas did, they introduced bhakti as a way. Without a scholarship, without an intellectual profundity, just surrender to the Supreme Self, the Lord Shiva, and you get mukti from Pasha. And you can get the Shivatva, you come into the non-dual relationship perpetually at the feet, at the holy feet of Lord Shiva. This bhakti, which our Shaiva saints give, it later, after Nayanas, Arawars introduced it, they also took the bhakti path. And it has spread over the whole Bharat. I, as a student, high school student in Bihar, we used to study in our textbook Bhakti movement. And there it used to begin with a saying that the Bhakti originated in south, in Dravid land. Bhakti upji Dravidi Naya Ramanam. This is what we used to learn. Because the magic, the miracle of Bhakti has a path to salvation. While doing your work, a farmer, a trader, whoever, whatever walk of life, you continue doing what you are doing. You don't give up. You do your best. Just through devotion you can reach and reap the benefit of the divine grace. This contribution of bhakti, which our Tamil saints, Shaiva saints gave it to Bharat, Bharat shall never ever forget it. In fact, it is this that took this great both Shaiva and Vedas from institutions to the heart of the common people. And then what happened? For 1,000 years, this Bharat was trampled by invaders from outside. They tried to destroy our institutions, destroy our temples, but they could not destroy our spirituality because the bhakti, the magic, the miracle of bhakti which our Shaiva saints have given us, it brought it to the heart of every common Bharatiya. How can you remove it? It was not dependent on institutions. It was not dependent on temples. It reached the heart. These two great contributions which our great Tamil Shaiva saints have given, we must not forget and it must be deeply appreciated. Friends, today, when our Bharat, we know that how long it has suffered. But for the last 11 years, under the leadership of a great nationalist leader, our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi, a practicing Saiva Siddhanti. Look at all his schemes, all his programs, all his plannings, non-discriminatory, all-inclusive, because our Saiva Siddhanta doesn't teach discrimination among people. This walking the talk, and the result we see that our country is now from the margin, from the nowhere, we are at the center of the world affairs. This is happening because our nation is waking up. National energy is building up. And this national energy, building up the national energy, our spiritual values, our spiritual scriptures, the course of it, they play a very, very significant role. In fact, Sri Aurobindo, at the time when Bharat became independent, 15th of August 1947, he had defined Bharat. What is Bharat? He said, Bharat is Bharat Shakti, is a living energy of a Sanatan, a spiritual conception, Sanatan Dharma. It's living energy. And Bharat's existence depends on Bharat's loyalty, commitment to Sanatan Dharma, which is all inclusive. It does not, there is no concept of any other. Other may or may not accept, but we as a Sanatani cannot say that you are other, you are ours. We are all members of a family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Yadamure Yavamuke. Our Tamil saints did another great service to Tamil literature. Tirumurai. Imagine. Devara. Tiruvashika. A great, these devotional songs, devotional poetries were the summit of literature. There is a saying, and which our chief guest, J.P. Naddaji mentioned in English. The saying is, Tiruvasaka Tiraka Urupadar, Uruvasaka Tiraka Urupad. If Tiruvasakam does not melt the heart of a person, that heart is of a stone, is not a human heart, that will not melt with anything. Look at the power. Unfortunately, today, while it remains in the household, it remains in the institutions like Adinams. For last several decades, there is an attempt at a cultural engineering, erasing the past, in the name of rationalism. They say that bhakti, devotion, is unscientific. Now, if it is unscientific, how do you remove Lord Shiva from the heart of the common community? It is not possible. They cannot do that. Now here, I would urge, I would appeal. I have some appeals. One appeal is for our Adinams. You have been protecting, preserving not only the Tamil identity, Tamil culture, Tamil literature. Through your act, I know that the great men and women of Tamil literature were patronized by Adinams. Dharmapuram Adinam has been playing a very, very leading role in that. Please continue doing that. But my appeal to you is, prepare in the institutions some multilingual Saivacharya. Because our earlier Saivacharyas used to be multilingual, multilingual. We know Meghanda, great Saivacharya. Great Saivacharya Umapati, They were greatest scholar of Sanskrit. Of course, they were greatest scholar of Tamil. There is no doubt about it. It helps communication. It helps cross-pollination. It helps getting the ideas. And when I say multi-language, I don't mean it has to be Sanskrit necessarily, any other Indian language. So that you will find today, we find Saiva Adhamas are in almost all regional languages, all Bhakti languages. When we have, since you have created here this land, this holy land has produced these two wonderful things, to devotion, and in the regional languages, language of the mass, our Saivacharya should also be multilingual. Create this multilingual Saivacharya for better communication. Another appeal I would like to make to the higher education institutions, including SRM, especially the deemed to be university and autonomous institution. You should consider including Saiva Siddhanta as a part of your philosophy course. You should also consider Tirumurai as a part of Tamil literature, because they are the summit of literature. These are now being systematically, through active indifference and passive hostility, driven by a political ideology, which is being erased. I urge the higher education institutions to include in their curriculum, because you are autonomous, in your academic councils can include that, Saiva Siddhanta into your philosophy course, and Tirumurai, Devaram, and Tiruvashakam, such literature as a part of Tamil literature. I also would like to appeal to the scholars, those who are here present, who have come from different parts of the country and the world. Take it to a larger canvas. See the glory of it. This, what our saints did thousands of years ago, we need to re-energize it. Because what Sri Aurobindo said, that Bharat is a living energy, and that energy comes through a spiritual energy, through our loyalty to our spiritual sources. As scholars, kindly think of taking it to the masses, taking it in the multiple languages, multiple Indian languages, so that it reaches the larger audience. The whole Bharat is energized. Because this is our core energy, this is our existence. I know the 3 days conference will do a lot of churning, a lot of good will come out of it. I am told you have 300 plus research papers, great contribution. I would urge such conferences to be organized more often. Not necessarily by Dharpuram Adinam. Dharpuram Adinam has been taking the lead, but even by others, even by institutions, not necessarily Adinam. Other higher educational institutions can also take the lead. We should have it more often, and try to expand it to other parts of the country as well. And I'm sure in 3 days you will do the journey, and it will throw much more light to it. Thank you very much. Vanaga Tamil, Vanaga Tamil Nadu, Vanaga Bharatam.